imagine coming in every day? It'd be awesome. It's time out with the sports guys. I'm joined by Larry, fresh off the Cowboys' latest win against the hapless Miami Dolphins. Can you say tanking for number one?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any life in that team, despite the fact they had a shot at actually getting the lead in the first half.
You know who I think had the most juice there today for them?
Who?
Taco.
Taco Charlton.
Old team.
He got a sack. There you go. Even after a slow start, it included his first incompletion in the red zone this season. Dak launched his attack. He threw for 246 yards, 2 TDs, ran for another, gave up 1 interception, was part of the Cowboys' 476-yard performance, scoring 4 out of 5 times in the red zone. Why the big difference between the first and the second half?
I think just like Dak said, he was too greedy in the first half. He was going for big plays. He wasn't taking what the defense gave him. So in the first half, he was 9 of 20. Second half, 10 of 12. But how about this, though? Third quarter so far this year in 3 games, Dak is now 22 for 22. He went 9 for 9 today. Something happens at halftime with Dak Prescott, and he's just on fire in the third.
Just gets laser focus at that time. All right, if winning is contagious, what has Dallas shown you of just how far they can go before they give up their first loss this season?
Okay, well, before the Saints played today with Teddy Bridgewater, now that Drew Brees is out, I really thought they can go in.
With no problem.
Yeah, no problem. Now I'm a little skeptical, but I still think they can win at the Saints. Probably going to be a squeaker. I'm really worried about the following game. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers going to Dallas, because if I'm not mistaken, Green Bay's defense is playing pretty well right now, averaging maybe like 11 points a game. So that, to me, might be their first loss this season is against the Packers.
There is a chance. I'm saying I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but there's a chance they could win 7 in a row before they face the Patriots, and that would perhaps be their strongest challenge of the season. If they don't look past these other games, which they did a little bit today, you got to admit, against Miami.
I think so.
All right, what was the key for the Texans' come-behind win on the road in California today?
You know, I'm going to have to be honest. I didn't get to see the game. I didn't even read anything about it, but just checking out your highlights, it appears J.J. Watt came up big, particularly late in the game, so you can probably answer this one better than me.
Well, and also, I thought the offensive line did a much better job of protecting Deshaun Watson. Just 2 sacks, and it sounds kind of weird to say just 2 sacks, but based on what they've been able to produce early in these games, he gave up 10 sacks in the first 2 games. So this is a much bigger improvement for this team as far as protecting Deshaun Watson. That said, their defense did step up big time, and J.J. Watt seemed like he had a little bit extra fire in the belly because he's playing against his brother. And it showed today. What did the Longhorns win against the Oklahoma State Cowboys? Tell us about this 2019 team.
Well, I think it tells us that their defense really has the potential to be something special. I mean, they held the Cowboys to 19 points under their season average, and they held the nation's leading rusher in check. You know, and their offense, we all know how well they can play, especially when Ellinger is clicking. So I think particularly, though, it just shows us how their defense can really be.
What's amazing about that is Hubbard came into that game. That's the guy who was leading the nation in rushing. He was averaging 173 yards a game. But they held him, and this sounds crazy to say this, they held him to only 121 yards. That says a lot about that defense. Now, the big worry we all have right now is about the health of Caden Stearns. We have not heard an update. All we saw is he limped off the field on favoring his right leg. They say it's his knee. He went into the medical tent after the game. Their head coach, Tom Herman, told us it is a knee injury. He's going to have an MRI. Should have had it today. Hopefully we'll know the results very soon. We hope it is not serious. All right. Last week, Washington State head football coach Mike Leach gave us his in-depth analysis of which Pac-12 mascot would win a battle royale. It got us asking which local professional sports mascot would win in a fight: the Spurs Coyote, T-Bone from the Rampage, or the Missions Jalapeno, or Henry the Puffy Taco. What would your preference be?
Well, I'll tell you what, Henry the Puffy Taco, I mean, it's going to smell good, the cheese, the lettuce, all that kind of stuff. It's going to make your mouth saliva a lot. The jalapeno, is it a spicy jalapeno? Is it a non-spicy one? You know, T-Bone, I mean, T-Bone's a bull. I mean, it can charge you and knock you over, but the Coyote,
it's crafty.
Get bats out of the air unlike anything else. So I'm going to have to go with the Coyote.
You go with the Coyote. I go with T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Because he broke one of our machines here at work one time. So remember, he's got some toughness in him. All right, let's take a look at our Twitter poll here. Who would win the battle royale between San Antonio professional sports mascots, the Coyote, T-Bone, Henry the Puffy Taco, Jalapeno? And also, Jalapeno is very sneaky. You go with the Coyote, 62%. The closest next is T-Bone.
Thank you, San Antonio.
You backed up Larry. All right, and that does it for the sports guys. Thanks, Larry.